Um, yeah, going by all the evidence we have in society, that when you see success and when you see success yourself and you see success parading itself shamelessly on the platform of life, uh, all the successful people, and there may not be much evidence of the virtuous nature of man, the divine nature of man, but I think if we look very closely and critically, that even among the successful people, there may be the very intelligent people who do not attribute their success to their smartness and their street smartness, but who are learned enough and whose souls are wise enough to say that it is the handiwork of God, it's not my work. There are people like that. And I think we have to look at those examples and not be impressed by the worldly kind of success, which is more driven by the ego and driven by self-centeredness. And even though that may be in the majority, you see all the time newspapers showcasing that. In the film world, in the business world, all of that you're seeing. But I think those may not be salutary lessons for us. The salutary lessons are what I'm mentioning, that people still have gone to the top, but they've not lost their head. They're very stable.
Yes.
And people who have fallen down, and some of them have amazing stories to tell, that they describe the rebirth. And without being born again. And there's the theme of the second birth in all the religions. I know for sure in Hinduism and Christianity because I'm familiar with that. And without going through that, but don't you think you lived life superficially without going so deep? Skimming the surface everywhere? Shallow lives?
I think that is what society and what we read in the newspapers at large. However, it is interesting that when, as I was telling you yesterday, that in my experiences and the people I got to meet at my Harvard executive education courses, I got to meet fascinating people, and I'm sure they have had failures, but how they have been able to manage success with intelligence and not taking all the credit for themselves. They give credit to their teams, to their spouses, to their children, to their families. And there are more beautiful untold stories, but those are not the ones that sell in the newspapers. So it's very beautiful to discover that there is more of that than what meets the eye.
Yeah, I think in the Amanaska Yoga online course, there is a wealth of sutras and wealth of guidance for those people who want to understand how to go through a failure and emerge as a hero. Because all heroes have to go through failures, right? Without going through, uh, without being completely torn apart in the throes of a failure, you're not born again, are you?
That is the hero's journey.
Yeah, that's the hero's journey. So one
And all
has to.
religions talk about that.
All religions, all mythologies,
Yes.
talk about
Yes.
it. Joseph Campbell has
Yeah.
dwelt a great deal on it, and people have to go through that. And without going through, I think there is a great deal of immaturity about your whole life and your personality and everything. The best in you has not come out.
And it's amazing how nobody teaches you that. And there, you don't find that in I mean,
Yeah, it's
you
not
may
part of
read.
mainstream culture.
Yeah,
It's
you
not
may
part.
read a book of mythology about it, but nobody tells you that that applies to you too. And nobody
Yeah,
teaches you how, as Amanaska Yoga does.
yes, but if you took a course on mythology, on Joseph Campbell's The Hero with a Thousand Faces, that particular work, for example, or The Masks of God, then you will learn all of that. But this is, at the present moment in man's awakening, I think it remains esoteric. And it is slightly out of the reach of the mainstream society. And except that people who have become very, very sensitive to failures and very, very sensitive to life-changing experiences, they go to these sources and slake their thirst and come back rejuvenated. And but that has to become available to everybody. Then I think it's a most wonderful thing which happens to humanity.
Thank you very much,
Yeah,
Guruji.
thank you, Sandraji. Thank you.